we kind of believe economics is a key to a lot of problems that people might face.
Mhm.
But if you kind of just address things from a one-dimensional standpoint, it's almost like a doctor that gives a medication without thinking about all the side effects or just the other issues going on in the body, right? And it's not a one size fits all kind of thing. It's one of these things where it's like you have to have an awareness and in fact a consciousness, right? Like in this class we call this financial consciousness,
Mhm. Mhm.
consciousness of like, okay, what do you need and how do I solve this problem? And so rather than me starting from the beginning and moving forward, I start from the end and work backward. And we in here in mathematics they call that dynamic optimization, where you just say, okay, what's the issue here, and let me just work backward and find the solution that's going to help solve the problem instead of just finding the solution that I want to use. Like almost like taking a hammer and just saying, I'm just going to hammer something. It's like, no, let me look at this building and see what we're trying to build or what we're trying to fix. And then I'll figure out what tools will be most effective. And it seems like that's critical for our community because the experience of Black people is very complex. Right. And it seems like the solutions, even if you talk about like the school system, right? Like what like, in Chicago, they had, I think, 40 or 50 schools where not one single Black child could read or do math at grade level. And I
Wow.
said, that's a tragedy. That's a
Wow. Wow.
calamity. That is,
Wow.
that is, that is an educational apocalypse. Who's funding this? Who's putting billions of dollars into not educating Black kids, leaving them uneducated? But if you really wanted to solve that problem, you couldn't just go in and say the teachers are doing this, or you can't just say the schools are doing this. You can't just say the parents are doing this. It's like a combination of things that requires you to really understand the problem. Do you see what I mean?
I do. I do.
Yeah. So it seems like the church kind of takes that same approach. Like what's the issue, and what tools can we put in place that will help solve the issue? Um, so did you want to speak to some of that? I said a
Yeah.
lot.
Um, you're saying a lot there. I mean, it's so powerful because people, when people come to our buildings, come to our spaces, they come with their full selves and all of the trauma, all of the drama that they have and are experiencing, they bring it all. And I believe it is the responsible ministry. I believe it is the responsible ministry that takes people where they are and how they present themselves and engage them. And because there's so many things, someone is struggling with, their children who can't read or can't do math or paying rent, and I mean, and medications. I mean, the list goes on and on. And you just have to, again, in our attempt and desire to maximize our utility, right? To be as effective as we can. Um, we understand the demands upon us to serve in a multifaceted way. Um, but yeah, man, that's kind of what we do. I mentioned, I mean, I could go on and on about just some of the things that we do, and I'll be happy to answer questions. But I think the larger issue is we get that people are multifaceted, multidimensional, and they bring a lot of challenges with them. And
Mm.
with the resources that we have and the commitment to the community, because I also believe that the job of the church is more than just soul saving.